The far north region, also known as the extreme north region, is the northernmost constituent province of the Republic of Cameroon. It borders the north region to the south, Chad to the east, and Nigeria to the west. The capital is Marua. The province is one of Cameroon's most culturally diverse. Over 50 different ethnic groups populate the area, including the Shuwa Arabs, Fulani, and Kapshikhi. Most inhabitants speak the Fulani language Fulfulde, Chadian Arabic, and French. Sedimentary rocks such as alluvium, clay, limestone, and sandstone forms the greatest share of the far north's geology. These deposits follow the province's rivers, such as the Logon and Meo Sangha, as they empty into Lake Chad to the north. At the province's south, a band of granite separates the sedimentary area from a zone of metamorphic rock to the southwest. This latter region includes deposits of gneiss, mica, and schists. The Rumsiki Valley, a mountainous field littered by the cores of extinct volcanoes, constitutes a small area of volcanic rock, such as trachyte and rhyolite. The far north soils are a bit more complex. Much of the province is composed of young soils rich in raw minerals. This is true of much of the land south of Lake Chad, and of the Mandara Mountains on the western border with Nigeria. Soil here is black clay. The seasonal flooding of the Logon River gives rise to a north-south band of hydromorphic soils at the border with Chad. The remainder of the territory, the Diamé Plain and the El Biad River Valley, is made up of ferruginous soils. The province's dry, wet seasonal variations create relatively shallow, ferrous or lateritic soils. A number of rivers crisscross the territory, many of them rising in the Mandara Mountains. The Meo Kibi, Meo Loti, and their tributaries form part of the Niger River basin. The Loti rises in the Mandaras, parsing and swelling the Kibi in the North Province. The Kibi rises south of Yaguar and flows into western Chad. The province's other rivers are part of the Chad basin. The El Biad River flows northwest from the Kalamalu National Park and forms the northernmost stretch of the border between Cameroon and Nigeria. The Meo Sangha rises south and west of the El Biad's source and moves eastward at the north of the Diamé Depression. The Logon rises west of the territory and flows north to form most of the border between the far north and Chad. It eventually meets the Chari, which also rises in Chad. The Chari forms the remainder of the Chad-Cameroon border beginning at Kuseri before emptying into Lake Chad. These rivers all follow a tropical regime. Fluctuating between high water in the wet season causes flooding during the wet season. The Logon is especially prone to this, and much of its basin is marsh-like conditions along its length during the wet season. Even during the dry season, some of these remain, called Yeer in Fulfulde. The El Biad and Serbaway rivers drain these marshy areas into Lake Chad. The Diamé Plain, part of the Chad Plain, occupies the southeastern third of the province. It is not as prone to flooding due to a number of inselbergs through the area. The province is also home to a number of lakes. The most prominent of these is Lake Chad. The lake was formed by a tectonic depression that has since been filled in by the area's rivers. However, over time, these rivers have deposited sediment as well, making Lake Chad nearly disappear in the past. This is a cause of concern, since when the Logon and Meo Kibi flood, they meet. This diverts water from the Logon to the Kibi, and ultimately the Benue. This has caused some scientists to predict that in the future, river capture will occur, depriving Lake Chad of one of its major sources. Much of Lake Chad evaporates each year and must be replaced by rains from the wet season. Other lakes include Lake Fianga, which exists only during the seasonal flooding of the Logon. During the dry season, it is at best a swamp. Magar Lake, south of the town of the same name at the eastern border, is an artificial body of 6,000 square meters. It is known for its fishing. Most of the far north lies at a relatively low elevation. This lower lying portion makes up part of the Chad Plain and slopes gently from about 500 meters in the southwest to 200 meters at the Logon River. The average elevation of this basin is 280 meters. The Diamé Plain occupies the lower third of the Chad Plain and is characterized by a number of isolated inselbergs. The Mandara Mountains at the southwestern border with Nigeria form the highest point, lying between 500 and 1000 meters, with an average of about 900 meters. Mount Toro is the highest point, at 1442 meters. These mountains likely arose as a result of the same tectonic activity that gave rise to the Benue Depression in the North Province. The area was once volcanically active, as a number of freestanding necks of trachyte and rhyolite of extinct volcanoes attest. The most